Okay, all right. I think we are live now. I'm just going to wait until YouTube says I'm live because I have no confidence and trust in myself. There we go. Okay. YouTube is showing my face. So we are live now. Hey everyone. Spidey Librarian here, and as you can see, we are here for the final episode of the evening. Um, these streams have they started later than I expected. They have gone later than I expected, and that last episode just freaking grabbed my emotions, squeezed them, slammed them into the ground, and then like stomped them on the floor and then dragged them along. So yeah, that was an experience. So, anyways, we're gonna watch the fourth and for tonight final episode of season 3 of Spider-Man, uh, the animated series from the 1990s, and we're gonna get on that in just a second here. So, anyways, let's see. Let me say hello to the chatters. The Mesozoic Mind is already here. Good to see you, my friend. I appreciate you being here for so many of these episodes. It's great. Now, moving from the emotional stuff, we get the Green Goblin, which means Willem Dafoe memes. Ah, Willem Dafoe was such a good Green Goblin. Unfortunately, this predates his performance as the Green Goblin, but we'll see how this guy does. I don't remember who voices Norman Osborn in the Goblin, so but dude, it took this show 3 seasons to give us the Green Goblin. That's a big deal. A lot of people consider Green Goblin to be Spider-Man's best villain. I don't know that I agree with that. For me personally, it's Doc Ock. I understand why a lot of people like him the most or think he's the best villain. And everyone is allowed to their opinions. Everyone is allowed to be wrong. I get it. So, anyways, looking forward to this. When I saw the episode title, Enter the Green Goblin, I'm like, oh, finally. We'd gotten the Hobgoblin. We got Mark Hamill's Joker as the Hobgoblin, so I'm like, well, that's entertaining. I'm cool with that. But now we get in the comics. This is the OG. Hobgoblin came second. All right. So the show has gotten the order a bit reversed, but like it's multiverse Spider-Man, guys. You just kind of got to let them do things on their own terms, and I'm okay with that. So, anyways, we're gonna go ahead and do the reaction video recording stuff right now, and then we're gonna move right into the episode. And since I took my headphones off for last episode's analysis, um, I don't need to remember to take them off for this one. So, um, yeah, I've got to work on a uniform presentation, but hopefully I'll get better at that as we go on. So, anyways, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the recording stuff. So here we go. Hey everyone, Spidey Librarian here, and welcome to this watch along and reaction to Spider Man, the animated series from the 1990s, Season 3, Episode 4 Enter the Goblin. When I saw the title of this episode, I was just like, oh, God, thank you, finally. Green Goblin is not the Green Goblin is not my favorite Spider-Man villain, but he's one of my favorite Spider-Man villains. And that is in no small part due to Willem Dafoe's portrayal of the character in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films and of course in Spider-Man No Way Home. But even before that, comic readers and just anyone who knew of Spider-Man, sorry, and anyone who knew of Spider-Man could generally name the Green Goblin as one of the foes that Spider-Man fought the most. So the sorry, this episode has been a long time in coming, and I, for one, I cannot talk tonight. This episode has been a long time coming, and I, for one, cannot wait to start it in just a moment. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get her going. Ooh. Oh, man. Headphones, headphones, headphones. Okay. All right. We ready for this? Okay. All right, everyone. Get ready. Spider-Man, the animated series from the 1990s, Season 3, Episode 4. Enter the Green Goblin. Here we go. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, radioactive Spider-Man, 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 radioactive Spider-Man, 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 radioactive Spider-Man. Spider blood, spider blood, radioactive spider blood, spider blood, spider blood, radioactive spider blood. Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Okay. All right. Here we go. Uh, workaholic Norman Osborn. Ooh, Miss Hardy. That wow. Wow. Blame shifting. Oh my god, Norman. Okay, so he's up against a wall. All right, I get it. I mean, you could have adopted better business practices, Norman. You totally could have. Okay. Oh, so he's just getting threatened by the kingpin. Ordell? This guy looks totally expendable. Totally expendable. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, explosion. Okay, explodiness. Yep, and Harry's stuck in New York traffic. Yeah. Yes. You better go get him. That's your friend's dad. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Okay, well, I don't remember that. Oh, new subscriber? Oh, thank you. You. Oh, boy. Okay, you're not going in there. Let me go. No. Uh, you could go into the burning building. Like, they won't follow you in there. Oh man, Norman is such a bastard. I was gonna say, Jameson, you should know better. Damn. Well, Harry put on quite the performance there. Okay, yes, keep doing dangerous things. Okay, Wilson. Damn. Oh, there he is. Oh God. Okay. So I don't remember having seen this episode, but I'm pretty sure I know what was going on here. Yeah. Uh, I'm gonna wait until the end of the episode to say it because I don't want to spoil it for anyone who's watching it for the first time. Gobby, Gobby, Gobby. Yeah, the hobgoblin. Oh, shut, Jesus, Jonah. Wow. Okay. Did he know about your web shooters, or was he just lucky? Because I was wondering that too when he squeezed his wrists. Okay, isn't that thing remote controlled? So is it Harry or is it Norman? All right. Okay, I mean, the kid is probably having some understandable, you know, things going on right now. Yep. Ah, yes. Okay, well, he's got the flair for the dramatic. His cop on the force. Where's he going to go now? Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Oh, look! It's Mrs. Hardy and her daughter Gwen. But you couldn't stop him from grabbing the other woman? Oh, Jesus. Uh, 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 the mom? Okay. I love how often Hobgoblin's name comes up during all this. Oh, Jesus. He hauled him out of the helicopter. Wow. Ooh. That's one theory. I mean, possible, but how likely? See, it's situations like this where I like the internal monologue, you know? Okay, that was a shrewd move, but I get it. Are you mm, why? Okay. Okay, why did that happen to her and not Harry? Come on. Only once. They've got 9 lives. He has a submarine. The Green Goblin has a submarine. This is news to me. The frick? Did he steal this from the what the Injustice League? Oh, look, there they are. My Little Miss? Ooh. Dang. He's not wrong. Okay, no fat shaming. What's he gonna do? Okay, cookie, cuckoo. Ah, glove blasters. Yeah, he's done that before. Pumpkin bomb. Got it. You know there are other people in this room, right? Stupid goblin. Wow. Rescuing Kingpin and Jonah. That's gotta hurt. Auto what? Yeah. Climb, Jonah. And the water is chasing them. Uh huh. Yeah. Spidey knew he was too proud to leave. Oh. I don't know who did that, but that was actually a good move. Ah, okay, Fisk. Dude! Spider Man literally saved your big life. See? Mm hmm. This is a very different origin story. Well, there are lots of common elements, but him coming before the hob or after the hobgoblin, wow, that's you know he is unmoved. I'm like, I'm just chucking a bomb at you. Flashback time. Wow, I haven't quite seen it done this way. Time to move. Fisk, you're a jerk. Huh? You better get him up there, yeah. I got a boat, yeah. I got a boat, yeah. Oh. Ooh. Tiger. Smooch. Uh-huh. 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 Okay, all right. All right, let's see. So we got a new subscriber. Hold on. I'm gonna go over to this view because it'll tell me the name of my most recent subscriber, and it is. Sorry, it's difficult to see in this view. Daniel's Hot Topics. All right. Well, thank you for the subscribe, Daniel's Hot Topics. I didn't notice it at first, so my apologies. But thank you, and I hope you enjoy hanging out on the channel. So, all right, let's go ahead and have a look at the chat. All right, is it kind of weird? Is it weird? I kind of forgot Norman existed for a while. He's been barely in the show. No, I mean, yeah, like think about Kurt Connors. I mean, if he hadn't been doing the neogenic stuff, like we'd have probably forgotten about him too. So, all right, let's see. That poor child, and it just fades to the next scene. Yeah, that's how it works sometimes, you know? It's like, "Oh, hey, interesting comment. We're not going to follow that up though," you know? So, um here's the thing. Here's the thing that I have learned cuz I'm thinking about the weird how we got Hobgoblin before Green. The comics are of course the source material. And it's important that if you're going to pull from the source material that you do it in a way that's respectful to those who have read it. I've learned that when you take these stories into a different medium, you know, things like the order in which things occur aren't always that important. As long as you're sticking to the narrative themes that really kind of worked for these characters, that's generally what is more important. And so if you watch the show The Spectacular Spider-Man, which I do hope to cover on this channel at some point, it does a lot of big events from Spider-Man's comic book run too, and it does them in a particular order. And that is just kind of that's just kind of how it is, you know. It doesn't do them in the order necessarily in the comics, and it's just kind of the nature of the beast. A good example would be Venom. Venom is uh, a foe that appears at the end of season one. All right. And he is a foe that appears way longer into Spider Man's life. Like, Spider Man started in the 60s as a comic. We didn't get Venom until the 80s. Okay. So it should be, by that metric, a very long time before Venom appears, but Venom is very popular, and I can understand the impulse to want to bring him in. So I get why they do stuff like that. So yeah, it's, I'm I'm okay with it. Imagine it's not Harry or Norman, but Harry's mom. That would be a twist, actually, and one that I wouldn't mind actually seeing. So, All right, let's see. Oh no, Gwen. I mean Felicia's mom. Yeah, right, right. Okay, there's no way Gabi could carry Kingpin like that. He's massive as. Mm-mm. Um. So, but the Goblin has super strength, and he used a strong metal to accomplish the deed. So, I don't have as many issues with it. So, all right, I know it's been a while since I've talked about it, but MJ explaining Harry's childhood is an example of the show's problem with monologuing. Yeah, I mean, I understand that monologuing can definitely be a detriment in certain places, but it's not like MJ, like, yet she mentioned it, but like, and she did so in a way that kind of felt very sort of like Captain Exposition, and I'm willing to acknowledge that, but it's not like she went into the minutia of Harry's childhood, and that I would have much more of an issue with. I do like the monologuing at times when like Peter is trying to reason why he's tempted to buy into Mary Jane's, version of events or her speculations on the events, and basically convincing himself, like, no, that's not fair to Harry. I owe him, like I owe him my allegiance right now. So, I on the one hand, I get how the monologuing can be a problem, but I also get the intent behind it in this cartoon. And I think for the most part, it works. Mostly when Christopher Daniel Barnes is the one doing it. So, yeah. MJ, why did you go alone? I know, right? Like, come on, lady. To be fair, if this is Norman or Harry, it kind of makes sense for him to have this stuff because they're rich. Yeah, yeah. All right. When the goblin mentioned Felicia's deal with Doc, it kind of made me realize she's kind of a B. I mean, like a little, but I also think um that Miss Hardy is or Mrs. Hardy is probably a businesswoman, and there's a certain amount of cutthroat instinct that comes with her position. And so, like, I think that she has to, like Norman, um, she has to do some things that are not nice, but that it's more part of her position than it is a personality trait. Like it could be part of a personality trait too, but I kind of want to give her the benefit of the doubt and just assume that for the moment it's because she has an organization to run and needs to protect it and everything like that. So, but yeah, like she has some moments where she is less than kind, or she's not as kind as she could be. All right, spectacular Spider-Man goblins bonus B bombs. Okay, are better in my opinion. They scream. I mean, you're not wrong. That is pretty cool, screaming bombs. So, wonder if MJ has PTSD with the water from you know who. Oh, right. It's probably less about the element, more about the person. In situations like that, I would imagine it's more personality based than anything. So, well, that was a way to defeat Goblin. Not wrong. You know what? Norman is a W dad in this show, unlike others. Well, Norman in the comics, it's interesting because I feel like the Norman in the comics, the Norman in this show, and the Norman in the movies, um, are all at the start. They're decent people. Like Norman Osborn in the comics is a businessman who is very ambitious and tries to do anything he can to make sure that his company succeeds. And that pushes him to rush the development of what becomes the Goblin Serum. And that ends up turning him into the Goblin, who is, of course, much more ruthless. And over time, the goblin informs Norman's personality so that by the time the the television stuff comes around, he's a lot more of a bastard. It seems to be more built into his personality. I feel like that's a big misdirection though, because like in the movies, Willem Dafoe is very much like comics Norman Osborn in the sense that he's got this ambition and it causes mistakes, but it's not until he's exposed to the goblin serum that the goblin takes over, you know? The goblin to me represents like mental illness in the form of some sort of a dissociative identity disorder. And essentially, both Norman and Harry are victims of this disorder, which is just exacerbated because of the goblin serum and then like trauma, just trauma from being an Osborn. Harry had a difficult childhood because Norman was not the most attentive father. But that didn't mean that Norman didn't love his son. And so I try to remember that about Norman Osborn in the comics, in the movies, and at least in this show. I would say that Spectacular Spider-Man's version of Norman Osborn is he's just kind of a bastard through and through. And they do a really good job of showcasing that. So wait, I forgot to do Willem Dafoe. Sorry. Fun episode. Always great to have the Green Goblin and Spider-Man. Yes, no, I agree with you. I agree with you completely. So, all right, let's talk about this episode in earnest. This was a fun episode. It was the emergence of the Green Goblin, one of Spider-Man's biggest foes, one of his most famous foes, and definitely one of his most deadly foes. And they did it in kind of classic Goblin fashion, in the sense that Norman disappears. Harry is acting angry and withdrawn, and you're thinking, could it be Harry? Who is this goblin? You know, who is this person going around kidnapping the Oscorp board members? And then everything's pointing to Harry, it seems, and then there's Norman. And that is just kind of how it works. Like the one of the big mysteries, one of the big early mysteries surrounding the Green Goblin is who was it? And this was something that even the writers in the Spider-Man writing bullpen didn't know at the time. And so I think when it was revealed in issue like I think 37 or something, like the Green Goblin captures Spider-Man, unmasks him, and then he pulls off his mask and reveals, "Hey, it's Norman Osborn." And I think that was just like a decision made by Stan at the, like at the. I don't want to say on a whim, but it kind of feels like it might have been. I don't know. I may need to research that because there was some element of serendipity in the choosing of Norman as the Green Goblin. But then, like once you figure that, or once that happens, the Goblin is so strongly associated with Norman for a very long time. And after Norman is killed, Harry takes over the mantle. And that begets its own set of issues between Peter Parker and his best friend. But overall, this was a pretty good episode. It was a decent introduction for the Green Goblin. I liked the added element of kidnapping the. Hold on. I should have done that from the beginning, but I just don't care and I don't want to wear them anymore. So, I liked the element of kidnapping the Oscorp board. That was actually very clever because usually the Goblin just kills them all. But I liked the idea of him putting on this mock trial and, just kind of hamming it up, basically. And I like that. the Green Goblin to me is a very hammy Spider-Man villain. You know, so Doc Ock could be a very hammy Spider-Man villain. So can Venom. But like the Green Goblin is just like, I'm an insane dude who put on a mask and am just flying around chucking bombs at people. I'm gonna live this up a little bit. Like that's just the vibe for the Green Goblin, in my opinion. So it ends with the amnesia bit, uh, as that first reveal arc of the Goblin did, because uh they needed to go back to, oh God, well, what's he gonna do if he knows Peter's identity? He can seriously hurt his loved one. So they gave Norman amnesia, and so that's what they did here. But if this show sticks to the comics and uses those elements faithfully, you can bet that we may likely see the Goblin again in a future episode. And I certainly hope that is the case. So, um, we also see a lot of the monologuing that this show. I'm sorry, hold on. We see a lot of the monologuing that this show is famous for, and in some places it's good, and in some places it's not so good. One of the better uses of the monologuing device is when Peter is admitting that he's tempted to kind of believe Mary Jane about Harry and like maybe score some points with her. And then he's convincing himself, no, I can't do that. Harry's my friend, and I need to make sure that it's not him that's the goblin before I go jumping to any conclusions. And as you can see at the time, it seems to cost him a little bit of uh, MJ's, friendliness towards him. So it makes for that scene at the end where, he's like, God dang it, I'm still in love with her. And there's gonna be more tension in that department. Speaking of tension in the romance department, Gwen Hardy, I'm sorry, Felicia Hardy. I'm always gonna do that whenever I mention this character because Felicia is basically Gwen Stacy in this show. I know I've said it before. I just can't get over it. And I think I get why they did it, but it's still really annoying. So, anyways, Felicia kisses Spider Man without removing his mask. Hmm, interesting on several fronts because now we've got a complication in the whole Peter and MJ dynamic. And when Felicia Hardy in the comics, aka the Black Cat, is with Spider Man, she doesn't want to know anything about Peter. She insists that Spidey keep the mask on, showing that she is in love with Spider Man but not Peter Parker. She is violently not attracted to Peter Parker. And that causes issues for Peter. So I'm interested to see how far this goes. So interesting developments in this episode. And overall, it was pretty good. I liked it and I had fun watching it. And hopefully you did as well. Thank you for watching this. Excuse me. Thank you for watching this reaction. And if you enjoyed it, please go ahead and thwip the like button. It really helps me out. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing as well. Did you like this episode? Did you dislike this episode? Why or why not? Talk to me in the comments. I'd love to have a conversation. Thanks again for watching. This is Spidey Librarian, and until my next stream or upload, I'll be wishing you a good day. No, I wave at the end, like at the very, very end of the stream. So, all right, guys. So these streams, when I do individual episodes, they go on for much longer than I think they will. So I'm gonna have to be careful about that in the future because we're an hour past where I wanted to stop originally. But life happens, right? Life happens. So you got to do what you got to do. But anyways, this was a good block of episodes. I really enjoyed it, and I think that uh you know I'm really enjoying this third season, and I can't wait to watch more of it next week. So Anyways, I think it's time to get going. I'm gonna join the next stream and play some Fortnite in a little bit and try to get as many as much of the Marvel Battle Pass as I can. So join me on that in a little while if you care to, and if you can't, thank you for being here tonight as well. So I'm gonna get going. Take care. This is Spidey Librarian, and until my next stream or upload, I'll be wishing you a good day. Bye.